Hola, people.
Hello.
Welcome to Tarot and the Deviants, where tonight we get to talk about one of, obviously, one of our favorite subjects, which is sex magic. Sex magic, anything to do with love, lust. Obviously, Valentine's is in the air. It's very soon. Again, if y'all have any questions pertaining to the actual subject, the topic is sex magic in regards to tarot, how to use your cards in a lot of kinky ways. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna shuffle the deck and we will pull out. We don't even know what cards are gonna be coming out of these damn decks. We'll shuffle the decks and we will pull a card and then we will express how you can best utilize those cards in sexual magic. And the fun thing, do you okay? So I know Melissa, you've been reading for quite a while. Have you ever had any? Have you had clients where they come to you for sexual healing or healing between relationships and stuff like that?
I find that clients most of the time are very uncomfortable with talking about sex with their tarot reader, and so they really get to know you. I've had a couple of clients that were regulars way back in the day that weren't like that, and they would be like, I need to know how to spice it up because things are getting boring. We don't have sex like we used to, and things like that. And those have always been really fun readings for me, because you definitely think outside of the box, more so than any other, really.
Yeah.
Because the feeling that you get from the cards and from your client tends to be more on the risque, like forbidden side. So I don't know. To me, it's a lot more fun.
It is. I think it's a lot more fun as well because, and especially for a witch who is a reader who
Mhm.
helps their client in this way, because I've said it often. There is a sexual energy that is associated with witchcraft, and so that heightens. And then when you're reading for someone, that energy flows through you, and you get like an awesome experience. You are able to channel that energy, and you connect with your client in a different way, and you're better suited to help them. I think that it's challenging because so many people have so many different like limiting beliefs around sex. Very like there's a lot of judgment and there's a lot of like stuff that holds people back, and it's very taboo for some reason, and it shouldn't be. Um, and the more that we talk about it, the more we express it, the more comfortable we make people, and that's kind of like uh, I have been having communication issues all day. I'm not even joking. I cannot talk. I've answered the phones at work, and I just can't say shit. So you're gonna have to bear with me today. But really, when you're when you're reading for people, and this is a subject that you read for or read on, it's all about setting the atmosphere as well. So you have to make sure that your client feels comfortable with you. And you also make sure that there's this professional understanding, so it doesn't get too personal, or they don't know how to detach, because you have to kind of be detached so they don't there's not that transference of energy, so people get mixed signals, because that happens especially with new readers and they're trying to read for everything. You might be giving the wrong signals when you have a subject like this, uh, if you don't learn to just detach and express yourself in a certain way.
I agree.
So,
I think I think the
what?
readers of this generation are lucky in a way because we're in a bit of a sexual revolution as it is. I mean, it happens whatever generation. I mean, but as far as like reading, people seem to just be way more comfortable now about sex, and the sexual taboos of yesterday have become the norm of today. And there's no, you know, the stigma, in relation to it is so we have
What just happened?
That was so weird.
And just instant. Oh,
I
he's
know, that was so strange.
That was weird. Anyway,
Hey, come back.
you,
Are you there?
yeah, are you there?
are you
I'm
talking to? Can you see me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, good.
So tonight is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so go ahead and finish saying what you were saying.
All I was gonna say is that the tarot readers of yesteryear may have had it a bit harder in relation to getting a honest, um, querent. I don't really like that word, but someone you're reading for may have had something on their mind that they didn't want to bring forward, and the cards may have, picked up on that energy. But now it's a bit more, well, not just a bit, but a whole lot more easier to talk to about it. So it's not confusing for the reader, confusing for the cards, and the normally the person you're reading for is a bit more open to hearing the message that needs to be spoken.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Can you imagine having to do this like back in the day? That'd be crazy.
Well, there was kind of a reason. Like you think of like the old gypsy, they would come into town, they would roll into town, and if you had a problem with these things, you would go to, and not speaking foul of the Romanians or any of like the traditional gypsy clans, but a lot of them were looked down on in society. So you would go to them because you're like, well, if I have something weird going on sexually, I'll talk to the gypsy because they're lower than me anyway. So now it's not like that. It's much more even.
Right.
Though I think witches will always be on the outskirts. So.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, even in just as far as our geographically, I mean, our area is a lot more Puritan-esque about sex than say European countries.
Right.
A lot more open about that. So
Oh yeah.
we just sort of have had it drilled in our mind that we need to be very closed off, and it needs to be hush hush and very secret. And because even some of the slightest little things get such huge attention, So, yeah, I mean, and that is often reflected in your clients. I mean, they're not comfortable with talking about sex. Half of them can't even say sex.
Right.
They'll use these different, like, euphemisms and terms to describe it. It's like, it's sex. It's okay. You can say it. Sex, fucking, whatever. It's sex,
Exactly.
Say it. Don't, and so you already know what the problem is. I mean, already, and whenever they won't even, say the word without turning beet red, you've already got a pretty good idea of what the problem is.
Right. And they can't even look you in the eye, and they're just like, like, do it. Do what? Oh, you mean like fucking? Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Having sex? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Why do you have to, like, then you know that is most likely going to be a very challenging but rewarding experience, because it's really beneficial when you are working with someone who is so embarrassed and not, they're taught a certain thing, and then as a reader, as a witch, when you help a client work through some of these things, they have more confidence, and you see that a lot when people have a healthy understanding of sex, when people have a healthy view on it, they start to interact in their world with more confidence. They have it builds and boosts confidence on all levels. It's not just in that area, but that affects like so much. That affects like every area of our life, especially when you keep something like that in this place where it's like dark, dirty, negative. It's hush hush. And that that builds a specific type of energy, and when you liberate that, when you free that, and you put a light on that, and you understand that this, negative thing that you once thought was negative is actually very positive, and you heal that belief and you transform it, it becomes so you free yourself. You don't have to go from fucking prude to fucking whore, but if you want to, that's your thing, and that's cool. I don't care. It's your, just be safe and do what you want to do. But it's not like you have to overnight become just some crazy ass person who's just wanted to attack,
Right.
But so some people think that. Some people think if they allow that to be, if they alleviate that and they allow that awareness to be healed, they're gonna just get fucking crazy. Like they're gonna go crazy and just start having sex with everything left and right, and that's not necessarily true. It doesn't have to be. So you can still have your healthy belief system and your healthy mindset regarding sex. But yeah, so it's interesting. It's a very rewarding experience when you're able to help someone work with the cards. So let's get into the cards.
Sounds good.
So one of you can start first because I know you have some really good cards.
Who?
Let's see. All right. I'll be right back. Hunter, do you already have a card?
Oh, no. Not yet. But I can get one really fast.
King of Swords. Here you go. King of Swords.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
Okay.
I love this deck because this deck is Tarot of Sexual Magic, and this is well, look at the lady. It's probably his actual wife.
Probably.
She's in the background. She's like, ugh, really? But she knows what's going on. She understands, and this is an experience.
Well, it's pretty normal with the hierarchy,
She's probably like, I'm fucking tired. I ain't gonna be fucking him. I'm gonna go get someone to do it for me. Like I have shit to do.
Her own guy to do.
Yeah, I have other things that I want to be playing with. So you have the King of Swords, and obviously Swords has a more airy energy, very wise and intellectual and analytical. You have that energy that comes in, and it's very calculated. You could even see it in the card, the way that they touch and the way that everything's done. It's almost like a teaching card. It's like I'm showing you the way of the body. I'm expressing to you the way of, we're going to, basically we're going to have a very open experience, and it's going to be fun. So in regards to sexual magic, this card actually can really help be very freeing. It can liberate, because swords cards tends to do that. They tend to cut old stagnant energy to release them, and then they have that wind energy that comes in and it blows shit out and it uplifts and it heightens experiences. So this card, again, if you are in a new relationship and it's progressing and you want to go that route, and they want to go that route too, but just like things are just not, there's conflicting energies. You can actually use this with your partner to bring about a more guided and heightened and divine experience. This will help bring two people together and be a little more comfortable in that energy.
Mm-hmm. I like that. So it's a pretty good card.
Yeah.
It's a really good card. And that card, to me, I love that card. I need that deck.
You do.
I need that deck. But to me, as far as that goes, that card could be used so awesomely in attraction as well.
Right.
Especially in specific. Okay, let's not pretend that the sex industry is not very vibrant. Sex sells. That's what it does. It allures. It sells. It always has and it always will. And in a lot of ways, I could go from the prostitution route. If you had a prostitute that needed to attract higher clientele, that
Oh, yes, that, and there you go. That's absolutely true. You can definitely use this in attraction work, and yeah, if you are, yeah, definitely.
okay, I'm gonna have to think on the card that I pulled because it is just throwing me.
Okay, well, I can go.
Yeah.
I'm not going. I'm going to Chariot,
Ooh,
which
yeah.
to me, Chariot has always been more of a feminine card for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because in this particular one it's represented by a female, but also because it's
Hunter, do you have like headphones, or can you put the thing on mute because it's like the feedback is horrible.
I'm sorry.
it is
I had no idea.
better. Nope. Oh, you muted. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so Chariot is a very feminine card to me. I love the fact that in this particular deck, which is a Shadowscapes deck, and I hope y'all can see that, it is surrounded by water, which to me, water and sex sort of go hand in hand. Obviously, sex deals with fluids. But yeah, it's very much to me an empowering card. Is breaking free of your old patterns, charging forward in something new with enthusiasm. This card to me is a card that you can utilize if you're ready to sort of try new things, but you're not really sure how to approach that with your partner. You can definitely utilize this card to do that. To concentrate on having that nerve, that ability to push forward into something more exciting, something different, something that you want to try that you just don't have the guts to say. Which that to me is a common problem in a lot of relationships. You feel like you're sort of in a stagnant area whenever it comes to sex. It's kind of a routine at this point, and this card is excellent to push forward and break through those routines and try something new. What do you think, Michael?
I like that. Yeah, I agree. I like that. And emotions, water, obviously, you build sweat and you have this wonderful experience, but the water aspect as well is when you do have sex and when you do sex magic, it is a very divine experience. You channel, and obviously when you have orgasm, when you experience that, that's a very divine blessing, and that's something so important that you be present in and you actually allow yourself to experience, because a lot of people just bam, send, whatever, but no, when you actually have that, if you're present with it and you fully embody it, you create power, and at that moment you have the ability to really change things. And so I associate that a lot with a lot of the water, the cups cards, because they have that fluid energy and they express that so well. And so when you're going through that experience, you can have something that you focus on that you need to create in your life. And so that when you reach orgasm, you release and you have this extreme there's just a lot of energy going on. So that's very powerful for anyone who wants to manifest and create anything in your life. So add that to any cups card, any water energy that you see in the tarot. So that information, put that on. But I agree with everything that you've said. And Mr. River, what card did you get? I don't know. uh, that's one of the drawbacks about having like this is like you get the feedback, which is a pain in the ass sometimes. Well, most times, but and then there you go. So Melissa, I'll have to see the card again. I should have brought my Shadowscapes deck out, but yeah. And
Is
there.
this better?
Yeah.
Is the feedback as bad?
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay, good. I have the Justice card.
Oh.
Oh, that is kind of hard.
It's hard, but don't take this the wrong way. Well, you can if you want. I get such a like BDSM energy from this card.
Nope, thought the same thing right off the bat.
Yeah.
So, first of all, let's just analyze it. I mean, he is definitely masterful in his art. He has the control aspect. He has the weird, I don't know, just the hidden extreme need for control. So it's a weird card. So I'm gonna go the route of the BDSM culture and not get totally into it because I'm not into that scene, which is cool if you are. I respect it. But
Definitely a dom.
yeah, it's definitely a dom, and that is not so bad. You have to know, especially in a sexual relationship, the control is such a aspect of it because you have to know when to give, when to take, when to, be in tune with your partner in such a way that the control is welcome and the control is not welcome. And when you need to be a little bit more meek and mild about things. So magically with this card, I have no fucking idea what I would do. So
Well,
I'm gonna need help from you.
No, that's actually very good because, and look, there's keys right here, and we all know what keys do. Keys have the power to lock or unlock. And
Right.
so this is, if you express this as being very dominating, a very dom person, and he has the keys to lock or unlock, and we're talking about sexual magic, this is really good for people who need that push, that help to kind of like, okay, open up them legs because that's what you want, but you're scared. It helps. There's that energy that it can, break the ice, so to speak.
Right. Plus, if are interested in something like that, like a very S&M kind of sexual encounter, and you don't have the nerve to really push the subjects, that card can really help. And embracing your inner dom.
Right.
Or your inner sub. Either one, really.
Right.
Right, because both of them have their own. Both energies have their own control and their own,
Exactly.
and that is interesting. Go ahead.
And regardless if you're into the BDSM culture or not, everyone is a bit of a dom and everyone is a bit of a sub.
Oh yeah.
That's what sex is. That's that fluctuation, that give and that take. That's what that is. That you embrace that energy and you go with it. And the key, I think, it's funny that again the keys continue to pop out at me in this card, is that the key is to unlock that rhythm.
Right.
And you could totally use this card to unlock that rhythm between 2 or 3 or whatever you're into.
I was just
You know?
Right. I was just about to say that this actually would be a really good card for people who are in a poly relationship or people who are, having more than one partner at the same time, because this card actually has the ability to adjust energy levels and to keep everything in almost in a neutral uh, environment where people are like everyone gets what they deserve. Like everyone gets the attention that they deserve and no one's left out. So this is a good like glue card. This is like the force. It's very interesting because it has this. I would use this card with other cards to tie everything together. And for sexual magic, this is a good card. Again, a good like very like gluey card, like something that's gonna pull energies together and help make the experience and make the influence best for the practitioner, for everyone involved. So if you're and people throw parties, people have parties, and people have fun. This is a good swinger card. This is a really good swinger card.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Because this, and if that's what you do, shit, awesome. You should have like an altar and make this like the head card and do have some candles and make sure you promote that energy that justice will be had. Like everyone's going to be taken care of in the right way. And the energies in your home, the energies around, they're going to be productive, and they're going to be in alignment with what you're trying to express. Because some people go to these things, and if you don't know them well, their energies might be too harsh. So if you utilize the Justice card, that will make sure that everything's in sync, and then it will also push out people who do not belong and who are not in accordance to what you're trying to achieve.
Right. And if y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask anything at all. We're here for you.
We are here for you. We answer all kinds of questions.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we love the Deviant Moon Tarot, because of how much we just got out of that card.
Yeah,
that was insane.
Definitely.
We could go on and on about that card, and again, for our tarot peeps out there that are watching, it's a major card, so obviously it's a big energy. It's the boss. It's the boss, and obviously the boss with Justice. That's a powerful combo. You have 2 swords. Swords are that very airy. I'll cut you. Very blunt and that energy. So you have the keys. Keys unlock and lock, and they are gateways. So you have that, and this is going to be interesting. So the keys also, like if you want to talk about in alignment with sexual magic, the keys could be in reference to the sacred feminine.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? It's a statue, and she has, and her hands are like this, and what is that statue called?
I don't know. I'm going to need some more descriptive terms here.
I tend to agree.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Like I said, my brain is like shot. Anyways, the keys could be in reference to the sacred feminine, and because yes. Mm.
And I love how all the cards that we had sort of tied into each other very well.
They really did.
The King of Swords and then Chariot and Judgment, right? Judgment. So those all tied in, or Justice rather. Yeah, those all tied in very well.
Well, yeah, because like the King of Swords, again, you have like that training, and you have that like it's being laid out, and we're gonna go through this together. And then you have, what was your card again?
The Chariot.
Yeah, the Chariot movement.
Through those,
Yeah.
Inhibitions.
Yes, and you have a lot of movement there, and obviously, if you don't move during sex, you're doing it wrong. So you have the movement, and you have that water essence that you express in that card. And then you have Justice, which is a major player, which controls the situation and makes sure that everything is happening and being done in a positive light, and a light that is aligned with what you wish to achieve. Do you want to choose another card?
Yeah, let's go with another one. I already shuffled and all that good stuff.
Look at you. You're on it. Go for it.
I am on it, man.
Go for it then. Shit.
Well, I found this really interesting because I just showed y'all this card earlier, and I happen to really love this card. I love the way, the artistry of this card. It's the Queen of Cups, which is also awesome for sex magic, in my opinion. Again, for some reason, I'm drawing all about the feminine here. But, I mean, I don't know. But especially if you are sort of shy about how you want to, the role you want to play in your sex life, if it's always up to your partner, as far as like to encourage or say, hey baby, let's have sex, if it's always up to that your partner that chooses when y'all have sex because you're kind of shy about it, you just don't want to push it. Oh well, he works really hard, or she's dealing with the kids all day, so I don't want to overstep. I don't want to. I feel like they work so hard and they're always distracted, so I'm just going to keep quiet and let it be up to them. This is a card that's like, oh hell no, no, it's going to be when I want it, when I say I want it, and now, So, and the Queen, of course, deals with emotions, and people tend to, obviously, sex is not an emotionless thing, as much as people like to try to make it into something that has nothing to do with emotions, because there is a connection, regardless of what anybody likes to believe. And the Queen is an authority over emotions, so if you're wanting to go out and do the one-night stand thing because it's just been forever since you've had sex and you don't have a significant other at the moment, she is a great card to utilize to sort of keep those emotions in check and not get overly attached or anything like that. You're just going out, you want to have fun, you want to have a good time, maybe get laid, go home, and that's that. This is a really good card to utilize because she will help you stay in check. Like I said, she's authority over emotions. So she's a very strong authority in that area. She has the willpower to be like, hey, it was fun, I loved it, and now I'm going home.
Right.
And it's funny that the authority of the emotions, because so often people get caught up in a sexual relationship where one partner in the pair is all about the sex and very released of the emotional ties, and then there's always that one partner that is getting very attached very quickly, and the Queen there you could utilize it to really open yourself up to what you need to feel emotionally and what is good for you emotionally as it goes to your sexual relationship, because there are a lot of people that hold on to that so long in a just physical relationship, expecting it to be more, and it's just not going to be that. And she would help you to give self-awareness to yourself as it goes to your emotional ties and whether they are worthy of that other person or not.
Right. That's so true.
I like. So, Mr. River, what card did you pick?
Y'all are gonna laugh because for some reason these cards are so sacred feminine right now, and I picked Reverse Death.
Yeah.
And see, people rarely see that femininity in death that really exists, because it is very sacred feminine. Birth comes from the female of our species, or all species, and that's the closest point to life and death that exist in this physical plane. There's literally someone that's draining of life to give birth to another.
Right.
And that is so very sacred feminine. Where I'm going to go with this card is a little differently. Not that I don't agree. And you can tell that the feminine area is very highlighted in this card.
It's yeah.
it's very, it's shining down, and you'll notice that the little kid death down here, it's like he's wanting to go back. He's wanting that, he's craving the feminine. So what I'm going to do with this card is I'm going to hypothetically use it to spice up your relationship, because so often it's not what lacks sexually in a relationship. A lot of times there are people that are really in dead sexual relationships that have
and there he goes. Absolutely. Well, that that makes sense, though. Really.
Oh, he's back now.
No one wants me to talk tonight. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. Who knows? And it's not my connection, and it's not. I've tried it both ways, connected and not connected. Anyways, so what I was saying was that I'm gonna go here to spice up a relationship. It is the lack of sex. It is that yearning for sex. It's the keeping it tied up a little bit and not making it so easily available to the partner, because there is so much there's so much sexiness in the yearning for sex, and that moment, that liminal moment where you want it to happen so bad and it's not happening, and there's sexiness in that. It keeps a relationship very vibrant and very crave-worthy, if that is the term that I'm going to use. If you make yourself easy all the fucking time, there's no sex in that. People want what they can't have, and there's a huge exhilaration in finally achieving what you've wanted for quite a while. And this card could be utilized to spice up your love life, to make your partner yearn for it, but put you in situations where it just can't happen until that right moment when, all of that can flood through and the release can actually happen. And I think that's very sexy. That's very that there's sex in the lack of sex, and there's sex in the mystery of when it's going to happen.
Right. This is actually, it's funny because I was just having a conversation with someone who's been, married for a very long time and in a relationship, and this person's partner was like, "You don't really find me attractive anymore," and that's not the case. It's just like there's just so much going, and this happens in relationships, especially relationships that have been going on for a very long period of time, where people take things for granted, get too tired, or there's so much added stress and outside influences that just it happens, and you just get caught up. So you get to a place, some people get to a place where it's just like, whatever. They find that it's normal to just not do, not, because you're just going. You have so much other things that you do, and you love each other, blah blah. This is perfect for that type of experience as well, because it's telling you that you still have that divine, because obviously up here I associate with divinity, divine space. This is the physical realm, earth, grounding. So you have that divine energy that you need, again, because when you're in love, or even when you're in a relationship and you have that connection, it's a very uplifted connection, and you're tied to each other in certain levels, and so that energy needs to be reminded to be physical again. You need to remind each other that you are a part of each other and share of each other, and that means to bring that divine essence, that rebirthing in a sense, to create that relationship and take it and remind yourselves of what brought you together and bring yourselves together again. And this brings like the rebirth of energy, and that's perfect for that. I like that card. I love that card.
Yeah, I like both of the things that y'all said, but Hunter, back to what you were saying as far as like with sort of denying yourself sex in order for it to be better sex. Robert and I have been together for like 15 years now, believe it or not. And that's a long time. And, we go through our phases. I think most relationships do where, you're having sex all the time, every night, can't get enough of each other. And then you go into the phase where, maybe once a week, maybe once every couple weeks, maybe once a month. But it's like it doesn't really change the amazingness of the sex, because we have learned in the 15 years we were together what sometimes when you don't have sex for a while, it's just like once you do, it's like, oh my God, that was the best damn sex we've had in forever, not just because we haven't had sex in a while, but just that was awesome, because you get, I don't know, it's you haven't used those muscles in a while, you haven't had those feelings, you haven't had that kind of affection, and it's like it makes it almost brand new, And sometimes that's exactly what a relationship needs.
Perfect.
To make it that much more spicier, I guess I should say.
Yeah, that's and that's a perfect expression of how to utilize that card in sexual magic, and that's perfect. I like you like.
Me too. What did you get, Michael? What card did you pick?
Well, you're going to laugh because I chose two. One's from my Ludi deck and one's from the other deck. And they're both major cards.
What's up with all the majors?
Right? The Hangman and the Tower.
That's kind of crazy.
Okay, so...
Literally two of my favorite cards that exist.
Alright then. So, the Hangman...
Man, the Tower can be awesome.
The Tower can be really awesome, and we'll talk about that. There's my trains. Okay. So the Hanged Man is very interesting, and this actually goes with the Death card, the anticipation of sex and the holding off and all of that, because and for good purpose, because obviously the Hanged Man hangs there for knowledge, hangs there for wisdom, and does that to gain something. So it goes hand in hand with what was just expressed, and also to just try things differently, and if you want to get, kinky a little, this could be about kink magic. It could be about, using some bondage.
This is totally the first thing that came to my mind, so.
And again, if you are wanting to spice things up, if you're wanting, you can try new things, and you can definitely express that, and if you don't want to, you can utilize this card to promote like a different type of energy in the relationship, and you don't have to necessarily go the bondage route, but you can definitely utilize the Hanged Man to really express this new energy into a relationship, and you can actually meditate and connect with the Hangman card to really take some time to understand where you need to focus your current relationship, your current sex life, and what you want to do with it, and you will get answers with this card as to what you need to be doing. But you definitely need to look, kind of like shake things up a bit, and do things like probably the exact opposite way of what you've been doing. So if you're kind of a prude right now, you're like glued shut, you might need to unglue and not be so prudy. And if you are like, a whore and just all over the place, which is fine, I don't care, I don't judge, it's whatever. But you might need to calm down. That's kind of what the Hangman expresses, is like just be aware of what you're currently doing, if you're overly sex and or you're underly. But just make sure you pay attention, and you might need to stop and take a step back from wherever you are, and be more present with yourself to see what you need to be doing. So this could be.
Yeah, I don't know who's watching today, but apparently y'all need to be spicing up your sex life. That's all
Right?
these people are talking about.
Yeah.
But the tower is fun. This card is like very interesting. The tower can be, you can utilize the tower for explosive, ecstasy, for very hot, sensual, like just great, powerful sexual experience. This is where it makes you like weak right after, because yes. But
Like,
the tower,
walls down sex right there.
right? You need to be in like a soundproof room because this shit can get crazy. But yeah, this card is so powerful, and I think it works well with the Death card as well, and just the other cards that have come forth tonight. But again, if you see this card, he's doing the deed, and there's someone behind him that has something sharp, but it's like it's very intense energy, and that anticipation, that adrenaline that comes from, oh shit, I'm gonna die, but I'm still gonna get it in. So, so there's a very interesting energy about this card, and you should definitely work with it in sex magic to very increase energy, to set the tone and the room and the atmosphere for powerful, extreme experiences. You could, and you know what? You could even utilize the Tower card, depending on how you connect with it, depending on how you utilize it. You could use a Tower card in fertility magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes. But yeah, that is a fun card to play with.
Is it weird that I get very voyeuristic shit from the Tower card in that deck? Like,
No, especially with the guy behind him. I mean,
maybe we got some really kinkier people up in here watching this shit tonight.
Well,
they need to be more kinky.
Seriously, I think it's more like you got to get your freak on. You got to get crazy. You got to release. You got to have some adventures.
I love the Hangman. Is it weird? Like that card, to me, just the expression of it is such a sexual revelation in a way. It's like that step before you realize where you really need to be in your sexual life. It's like your initiation period, where it's going to veer you in the right direction to where you need to be. And sex is like everything else. There's no one born absolutely masterful at sex unless that is like your weird witch affinity, which I mean it can happen, but practice makes perfect. And what better way to practice getting good at something than sex? I'm just saying. So that has the energy of it. And the Tower, God, you could you bring a little Dionysus in with the Tower, you could just get a little, oh God, that just...
Yeah, or Pan. That way, Pan would be interesting.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that's all these cards kind of align with each other, and that intrigues me because obviously there's a specific message that needs to be expressed to those who will be watching or those who have watched, and that's really to work on having more sex, work on having fun, and be more adventurous, and more so releasing any negative perceptions that you have around your body, around other people's bodies, and around sexual encounters, and get kinky. But really, I mean, if it was all about spicing shit up, and I don't know, tarot is so much fun when you utilize it for these things, because you can channel the cards, you can bring the cards' energy into you while you're working on this current challenge. Because I don't like to call them issues, but they're challenges. So you can channel that energy, bring them into you, and allow yourself to work through that, and bring any healing that you might need. And also when you're screwing with someone, or you're having fun, and you can bring in a specific card, embody it, and then have some experiences.
Right, exactly. And honestly, I also think that a lot of the reasons why some of the cards came out tonight that did is because so many people, even though, like Hunter said, it is right now we sort of are going through a sexual revolution where it's not quite as taboo as it used to be, but it's still pretty.
Right.
No one wants to be the first one to, to poke, to poke the sleep lion, or whatever. No one wants to be the first one to start out, and so these cards can really open you up to new experiences. They can open you up to the fact that you don't have to be so closed off and closed-minded when it comes to sex. It doesn't have to be something taboo. It doesn't have to be something dirty or anything like. Well, it can be dirty.
Right.
If you like dirty, but
it's kind of dirty.
It doesn't have to be thought of as something to feel ashamed of.
Right. That
to me is the biggest point of these cards. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Sex is extremely natural. Every single creature on Earth does it. When you're outside listening to the birds in the evening and the crickets, they're all trying to get laid. That's all they're fucking doing.
Absolutely. Exactly. And then, so just the shame thing is like it's the biggest thing that people face. Like, I think that's a huge thing, and that's why I'm very okay and comfortable with talking about this subject, and I will talk about it as often as I need to, or we need to, because it needs to be made known that it's not something that doesn't have to be talked about. It's not something that you just put under the carpet or whatever. But yeah. It's so anyways, it's just have fun, be adventurous, and do what you can within your own experience, and enjoy the cards. Because if you have tarot cards, get them out and see how they express sexual energy. It's very fun. And again, if you have cups, the cup suit, water, emotions, and bodily fluids. You have wands, the fire, passion, aggression, kinky, very dominating, and the swords can be very dominating as well. They're very airy, and they like to move, and they like to, be a little more. Like, they have to have like a guideline. They like to do things a certain way. So if you need to express that in your life, like if you need to express that in your sexual life, like you have to take care of someone a certain way, or they like something a certain way, utilize the swords cards. The earth cards are just, very grounded, and they're very hippy dippy, and very connected. So they're really, they're really good at being able to express and share and connect and be okay with it. So connect with that element of the coins, the pentacle suit in the tarot for that. So yeah. Is there anything else y'all like to say before we tie this shit up? Literally.
No, I'm good. I think we've expressed a lot. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and you can so tell we talked about a taboo subject because it's like no questions.
That was fun.
I got that damn song stuck in my head.
I'm sorry.
Okay, y'all. So if you want us to talk about anything specific, just comment on the YouTube video. Let us know if there's anything that we did not cover tonight that you would like us to cover. For sure, ask us, and we will be happy to do another video and express that. If you need any more clarification, message us in the group. For sure, do that. But until then. Till next time, we'll see you. Peace out.
Bye.